Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Toolbox Tuesday. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Shannon Donohoe Simpson. Have you ever stopped yourself from doing something you really wanted to do because you didn't know how it would turn out? Maybe you were waiting until you felt ready, until you had it all figured out. Waiting, and then the moment passed. What I know is that for most of my life, I've needed to know. I needed to be in control of every detail before I took a step forward. But that need to know, that need for certainty, kept me small. It also kept me from a whole lot of experiences, opportunities, and moments that could have built my courage. Because what I've learned is that courage doesn't come knocking on the front door. Courage comes when we take action, especially when we don't know how things are going to turn out. In my previous home, there was a blue chair that sat by the window. And I still have that blue chair today. And I can't tell you how many hours I spent in that blue chair, looking out the window, waiting for courage to come find me. And I remember one winter, I really wanted to go up skiing. And I sat in that chair and I weighed out every possibility. What if? What if this? What if that? All the pros, all the cons. Would it be safe? Would the road be safe? Would I know anybody? Would I be the slowest skier in my class? And then by the time I had thought every scenario through and every angle, it was too late. By the time I had got my gear together and got in my car and drove up the mountain, the class would have been well over by then. And then became the familiar spiral, and then the familiar spiral again. I failed. That blue chair became a place where I waited for courage to come, but courage never came. For me, one of the biggest killers of courage is the unknown. And when I'm stuck in the unknown, I sit in that blue chair and I ended up picking up my phone, and then I would scroll through social media. And every scroll whispers, "You're behind. You're not enough. You'll never catch up." And that kind of noise can keep anyone stuck in the blue chair. But what I've learned is this. Courage doesn't wait for confidence. Courage creates confidence. Action creates confidence. Every small, imperfect step towards the unknown is how courage is built. So imagine this. Imagine if you stopped waiting to know how before you began. What if you trusted that the next step reveals itself as you take it? And what if the very thing that you're afraid of is the exact doorway to the next chapter? So 1, start before you're ready. Courage isn't about knowing. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the first step anyways. And 2, look back with kindness. Every time you step into the unknown, you've gathered the courage, whether it felt successful or not. Celebrate. Acknowledge your small steps. Do a little dance, whatever it is. I'm taking a course right now called Positive Intelligence, and I'm loving it. And it's so fun to catch myself when I have these negative talk all the time, which I'm noticing is crazy. And I celebrate every time I catch myself. And I smile at myself, or I do a little dance. But whatever it is, we need to celebrate our little wins. So what if today you decided that it's okay to not know? What if you trusted the unknown and know that simply life inviting you to be the best version of yourself? The best version of yourself. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not know. So I want to invite all of the ladies out there to join me in my upcoming women's group that's going to be starting this Tuesday in person in Comox. When women gather, stories heal, and when stories heal, women rise. So if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone that you love. And I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a beautiful day. Stay warm and dry. It is a very blustery day out there. Have a beautiful day. Sending so much love. Bye.